nonsense, real and raw, just like you like his corrupt, inexperienced, and he loves. Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, his Beef Vegan presents.
Oh, it wasn't in program. There it is. Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Thursday, July 6th. Yes, wake up indeed. I needed to hit 2. I'm very like OCD like that. Good morning, Weirdo.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rico.
Good morning.
All right, we got a super show lined up for you on this Thursday. Only a couple shows left of the first half of the year before we take a little sabbatical and then come back fresh for the second half of the year. So we have a lot of things that we're going to do today, including a confession session around 6:45 this morning. We're going to have another round of Rico's 5-star reviews. It's Thursday, so we have Squared Up Pizza in the studio later on for another edition of Tap Out, where you can win up to $100 in gift certificates of Squared Up Pizza, and we may even do a little Rap GPT song too. I got to figure out what that's all about, but a lot of stuff going on. Your hair looks good today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I did something a little different.
So you took the dreads out?
I took 2 out.
Just 2?
I wanted bangs again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's not difficult to do? I thought you just have to like...
it was an hour each lock to take them out, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you took your dreads out too, Rico.
I did.
Yeah.
Going for something new.
Yeah. How do you feel? You
Not
feel
good.
fresh
I feel
too?
naked without it.
Yeah,
I like my dreads.
Yeah, you feel naked without your dreads, Weirdo?
Mm-hmm. I've had them for years.
I know.
So yes, this is something to get used to.
I'm gonna have to start calling you Normal-O. You keep doing that up. You're looking very mixed FM-ish.
Ew.
I know. I was like,
Oh, God.
Yeah. Hey, that's all right. It's all right. All right. We got a lot of things to look forward to. We got Iron Chef right around the corner. I was just informed yesterday that there's going to be a grilled cheese competition.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about this?
No.
Okay. So this is pretty cool, and I'm all for it because, I grew up a fat kid loving grilled cheese. So Shane, Tucson Foodie, and I are going to host this grilled cheese cooking competition at the Iron Chef Culinary Experience. So if you think you make the best grilled cheese in town, you got to head over to KFMA.com and see how you can enter to be one of the participants, because we're going to try to find the best grilled cheese maker. And I think it's more than just, doing the basic American slices, butter, and bread. You got to come up with something that will clog up my colon. That's me personally. That's what I'm looking for. What would you consider like the best grilled cheese like recipe, Rico?
Oh, keep it simple, baby. Just get some gourmet cheese and slap some butter on that toast.
Gourmet cheese.
Yeah.
On what budget do you live on?
You asked me what the best is.
Yeah. So what?
Like the Sexy Grilled Cheese Company, the way they do it.
Okay. Give me an example of gourmet cheese. Are you talking about like Colby Jack's marbled cheese or?
Yeah. And things I can't pronounce or recall at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Can you even eat grilled cheese?
Yes.
Weirdo? That's one of the foods you can eat?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your like favorite grilled cheese?
Same thing. I keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe simple will win.
Just throw some bacon in there.
Bacon always, that's the Tucson way. A Tucson grilled cheese is a regular grilled cheese, add bacon. And that's actually for any single recipe that you can come across. If you wrap it in bacon, and there you go, old Pueblo style. So yes, we have that at KFMA.com. So if you are a grilled cheese chef, then get on that. Yesterday I downloaded another app. We'll talk a little bit about Threads and the lackluster rollout that I got. I bought into the hype, and I feel bad about this, but of course I don't want to be the last one. I don't want anyone to steal my at Beef Vegan, right? So I started seeing all these stories pop up about Twitter's the Twitter killer app that Zuckerberg just released in competition with Elon Musk. Now, this isn't Blue Sky, this isn't Jack Dorsey's version of Twitter. Of course, Jack Dorsey is the founder of Twitter, and he's going to have his own rollout as well, which I felt like is kind of a conflict of the, like, he's kind of going back on a deal, right? You sell Twitter for like $6 billion, and then you let the guy run it into the ground for a couple months, and then you're like, oh, by the way, I have an upgraded version I'm going to roll out. So immediately take away the value of the purchase. Am I wrong on that, Rico?
It's almost as cheesy as like watching wrestling.
Why? How?
Just because it's like the corporate cutthroat, like the heel, like the Elon Musk is the heel, the bad guy, and then coming in from behind. Like, check it out. Look what I got now.
Yeah, well, he is coming off like a heel, and it's very difficult to be considered like the bad guy when the opponent is Mark Zuckerberg, right?
How odd, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be a certain special kind of like unlikable to, really be considered the heel in this situation. But in some ways, Elon is. He is getting trained by George St. Pierre of UFC fame. They are serious about potentially fighting, I think.
Well, at this point, you got GSP in your corner. You got to be now.
Yeah, you got to be. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg has trainers as well and has been training for a little bit longer. Now, the tail of the tape is that Elon Musk is a monster of a man compared to Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is like 6'1", he's over 200 pounds. Those man boobs are glorious. And he outweighs Zuckerberg by at least 40 pounds, right? So even with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there's still weight classes in the UFC for this reason alone, right? Because even, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a self-defense art where you can hold your opponent close to prevent any kind of severe damage. But when the opponent is massive, there's only certain things you can actually do before physics takes over. I don't know. Now I'm turning into a fight analysis. I don't know.
Mark Zuckerberg's only 5'7".
Yeah, he's
little.
He's a twink of a man. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and that's why a lot of people, on the surface, if you just look at headshots, you're like, Elon's a little bloated, he's a little older, he's gonna lose. But then if you do a side by side, you're like, no, wait a second, he's almost twice the size.
Bear hug him.
Yeah. So, but they do seem to be serious, and now they're talking about if the fight does take place, they want to do it at the Colosseum, or Elon wants to do it at the Colosseum in Rome. Like ancient Rome.
Like, and I want real swords.
Yeah.
Like, lions.
This is the nerdiest billionaire cosplay idea I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, God damn, can you do anything semi-cool? Why do you have to nerd it up so much?
That's amazing. Could you imagine?
I mean, I guess.
He wants them to chant Elon like Maximus.
Yeah.
That's what he wants.
He's gonna come out with a Caesar cut, dressed like Maximus. He's gonna look like current day Russell Crowe as well. The whole thing is ridiculous. But with all that time, if Elon is wasting 15 minutes a day training for a fight with Mark Zuckerberg, I feel like he's massively wasting his resources. He should be focused on turning around the $6 billion purchase of Twitter, which, critics say every single decision he's been making for that has been destroying the app, and people have been flocking left and right, and they're not wrong. And he also should be, I don't know, isn't he supposed to be doing the space thing? Doesn't he have a car thing? Isn't he?
17 other companies to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you were at one point the richest man in the world. Aren't you going to focus on continuing to be the richest man in the world, or do things to make you richer? Or I don't know.
Where's my Starlink free Wi-Fi, dude?
Right. Come on. Yeah. I mean, I think Ukraine still has it. So when they're done with it, maybe you can use it. But
hurry up.
Yeah. All right. That was, of course, Avenged Sevenfold, Nobody on Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're live on the podcast broadcast. We got a full house in the building. Of course, Weirdo and Rico still here. Good morning. I'm Valdez.
I'm Valdez.
That's right. So Valdez is chilling with us as well. We got your TMI top 5 and so much more to just fill in on this jam-packed podcast. I mean, we are going into the end of the first half of the year with a bang. So join us, youtube.com/bevegan, or keep it right here. We're back right after Disturbed's Batman. Clear. All right. Welcome, everybody. I see you. It's good to see you. Keep those comments coming. And I don't know if you heard it. Did you hear that? I see Looney out there in Disneyland.
Your girlfriend's favorite DJ, DJ Looney.
That's right. So I got to drop that. Sabotage. This is a good question because there's a grilled cheese competition that's happening. Did you know this, Valdez?
I've been seeing the advertisements, but
okay. So, and you should enter this if you make a good grilled cheese, and I assume you do just from your mass. So, with that.
That guy knows how to make a grilled cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you grill your bread using butter or mayo?
See, I'm bougie. I do extra virgin olive oil.
Oh.
He knows.
Oh,
It
see?
doesn't weigh the bread down. It makes it crispy, and it gives it that buttery taste. So
Have you ever done it with lard? That's what we use in our house.
That's
We don't use olive oil or anything like that. We render our own beef fat and we do lard.
Lard
Everything is in
does.
I
lard.
do the bacon grease one.
You're such a fucking hippie. You render your own beef fat?
Yeah.
Like how? Yeah, like what?
Slow cooker for 24 hours.
Oh my
It's a
god.
7-day process. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, dude.
No,
All
that's when we cure the bacon.
Oh, curing. Yeah, my bad.
No, we get a whole
Brine.
half cow every couple months or whatever because we have a large family and we get it from a local farm. And yes, I'm aware of how hippie dipsy this sounds, but lard is expensive.
Yeah.
And with the pounds of beef fat, we get it for like what, $2 a pound or something. So then we can render it ourselves 24 hours. You just put it in the crock pot and walk away.
Crock pot is a godsend.
It is.
It's the best invention.
Yeah. So are you churning your own butter too? Are you a part of the Handmaid's Tale that I don't know about?
Can I play your family in the Oregon Trail?
Yeah. Blink twice if you need help.
No, we use ghee. We don't use butter.
Oh. Yak's milk.
Sabotage is stoked. He says it sounds delicious. So I agree with you. And I think beef lard or olive oil, I'll try that. And again, so I wasn't wrong with my assumption of your mass being
And you gotta do like the Sizzler. Remember Sizzler?
Yeah.
You get the hard cheese, like the real parm cheese.
Mm.
And as you're grilling up your bread, put a little crusty, cheesy crust on the outside.
See,
And the soft cheese goes on the inside.
You're never gonna meet a fat
Damn,
guy who
son.
doesn't know how to make an expert grilled cheese. And you're speaking my language.
I think
on
every
it.
stoner right now is just drooling.
Absolutely. No, and I've had grilled cheese like that. I had my stepbrother who was a good 350, almost 400. He's a big boy. He lived with me for a while. Yeah, and so lazy, but when he would cook, it was amazing. And he had grilled cheeses that I'm pretty sure an artery of mine is still clogged to this day because of it. You know, here's another fun fact with this. When he moved out, it was so gross, right? He was living in a room. It smelled so bad, him and his girlfriend. Well, all my fucking silverware was gone, right? And I'm like, hey, man, we don't have any fucking silverware, right? And he's just like, I don't know where it went. I'm like, I know exactly where it went.
Right.
It's in your room, dude. All right. So when he left, it was so disgusting. And I found like 50 different pieces of silverware. I had
my God.
literally no forks, no knives, no spoons,
It's
nothing.
all in there.
They were all in his room,
That's
dude.
so funny.
Oh, yeah. It was grody. We're back on the air. Rock 102.1 KFMA. But shout out to Jared. That was my stepbrother. I still love him. I haven't talked to him since he lived with me because the falling out was that bad, but I was happy to get my silverware back after he moved out. I was like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe it, but I found, these are your 2 different silverware sets. I was like, yeah, I do believe it.
Yeah.
I've been eating with my fingers, man. You ever eat spaghetti with your fingers? F you, Jared.
You have to soak the silverware in like bleach water for a couple of days.
Oh, I threw it out, dude. Yeah, I had to get new silverware
To
altogether.
get to a smelting plant.
Yeah, I live with a teenage daughter, and it's almost the same because we'll get to the point where I'm like, "Hey, man, I don't have any spoons. You have any idea where they went? I don't know where they're at. Oh yeah, let's go look in your room.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, 14
Oh.
spoons on your dresser, and they're not bent up and burnt, so I know you're not doing heroin. Just put them away when you're done. All right, we're back here live on the podcast broadcast. So get your TMI top 5. Before we get into 2 different stories, one is spitting on bride in Greece and different traditions from around the world that Daily Mail was documenting, and another is this crazy story about a man who was allegedly missing for 8 years. But really was locked in his basement as his mom's sex slave. I'll get into all that. Yes, I know. We're going to get into all that on the podcast broadcast, pictures included. But first, let's get into your headlines. I know those are great teasers.
That's
but
absurd.
That's
I know.
an awkward Mother's Day.
yeah.
Spitting on a bride.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's get into our Team Top 5. These are the top 5 headlines we didn't get to today. First up, a guy in Florida just broke a world record by living in an underwater habitat for 100 days.
Oh, so he made it to 100 days.
He made it to 100 days. You
Okay.
know about this guy, huh?
Yeah, I was reading
Whoa.
about it. Like he had a first goal and then he's like, I'm not coming back up. I want to stay down here.
Yeah, he's like, the world sucks up there. And
Mhm.
down here, it's free. But here's
I
the
don't pay
downside.
taxes.
Yeah, right? He doesn't pay taxes underwater or living in Florida in general. But, the downside of living underwater is the pressure down there. And now he's a half-inch shorter than he went in. Now, there's been obviously documented situations of astronauts growing because they're in anti-gravity environments. But down there with the pressure and that added pressure, even though you're used to it and you're accustomed to it, you don't know. It's actually like compressing you, and he's a half inch shorter. He knew something was afoot when he stopped hitting his head on the overlatch, like the door. He's just like, huh.
He stopped getting swipes on Tinder, and that's how I knew.
Yeah. All right, next headline. Some woman caused a big scene on American Airlines flight that went viral. It was out of Dallas. Did you see this?
Mhm.
She was screaming about the imaginary person in the back. Very like Final Destination type
Yeah.
stuff. Which if I was on the plane, I'd be a little creeped out.
Yeah.
You know who was on that plane? Carrot Top.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carrot Top.
Yeah, he
So-
documented it.
Yeah, and he said it took him like 5 hours to fly out to Dallas, and he missed the 4th of July fireworks because of it. So he's pissed. You got to be a special type of trash person to make Carrot Top angry.
I think the imaginary person was his career. That's what she saw.
Right. I mean, honestly, looking at Carrot Top in the back, be like, that's Drop Dead Fred. That's got to be an imaginary person. You like that 1990 callback?
I love it.
All right, so all right, here's the next headline. People online are freaking out over the idea of recycled soap.
Okay.
I'm looking at you, weirdo.
Yeah, I know
this
you
is
are.
exactly so.
I render my own. Thank
Is it
you.
made of beef lard, jism? Like,
No,
no.
I get mine at Natural Grocers like every other good hippie.
Disgusting. Well, a charity called Clean the World is taking used bars from hotels, then disinfect them and remolds them. And they're sent to other countries where hygiene is an issue. Okay? I'm looking at you, France.
Oui, oui, oui.
All right. Canada just smashed the record for largest gathering of people dressed as dinosaurs. Right. The Guinness still has to confirm it, but the final tally was 1,163 virgins. I'm sorry, people that dressed up like dinosaurs. The old record was 253, so they smashed it.
Wow, they crushed it.
Mm-hmm. And finally, a guy in Oregon got 4 years in prison for stealing over $700,000 from coin cashing machines at grocery stores. And I just want to share that. I know it's just a criminal headline, but at the same time, I'm like, $700,000 for 4 years? That seems like a decent deal. Actually.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should do it, but I'm saying in Oregon, I mean,
I'm not saying there's a few coin stars out there.
Yes.
Like a location.
Let's keep this conversation moving on the podcast broadcast before we incriminate ourselves any further. YouTube.com/beefvegan.
I love how humbling coin star is.
Yeah,
It's
well,
the
you
most
know,
humbling experience of all time.
it's funny that I actually mentioned this because I'll share this real quick. The Coinstar thing happened, but just in Oro Valley, I think just yesterday. Did you see this? Somebody attempted to blow up ATM, a Wells Fargo
Oh,
ATM.
geez.
Yeah, I just saw the headline in the picture of
Got
it.
a bank turf war going on.
There it is. Not a turf war, but some tweaker out there thought it'd be a good idea to mix their soap with explosives or whatever and try to Fight Club their shit.
Yep.
There's no word if they got any money. It looks like they did get in there a little bit
Mhm.
though, so maybe it did work. And police are actively searching for this
Jeez,
person.
look at that.
I know. Yeah.
That just reminds
Weird.
me of the Breaking Bad scene where they're trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
get into the ATM.
Look,
Skinny Pete.
I don't applaud criminals often, right? What is this? They say it happened early Wednesday, July 5th, which meant it happened late night, July 4th. If you're talking about planning to set off explosives where
Mhm.
no one's going to be suspicious, you do it on 4th of July because you just assume it's fucking fireworks going off
Right.
nonstop.
That's some
So
Ocean's 11 shit right there.
that's some Ocean's 11 shit. So I'm not 100% upset at this. I think,
Well, if you're gonna be a criminal, be smart.
Yeah, because my ex was a loan officer at a bank. They forgot to put the post in front of the island ATM.
No,
Mhm.
jeez.
So somebody's like, "Oh, construction set next door." They went and got the forklift, took the ATM machine, but instead of like being like super smart about it and like loading it into a truck and driving away,
Mhm.
they tried cracking that thing open like right there on scene.
Oh my god.
So TPD's like, "Hey guy, what are you
Wow.
doing?" And he's like,
I'm not forklift certified.
OSHA."
All right, so we have so much we got to jam pack in this podcast. Earlier this morning, we did a Rap GPT song, and today's Rap GPT song was dedicated to the ladies. We tried to be sexy as shit. you know?
Tried.
Yeah,
We
maybe
were.
we executed it, but I'll let you guys be the judge. In case you missed it, went a little something like this. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. All right, here goes nothing. Here's the deal. It's a Thursday, so it's time for another edition of Rap GPT. Of course, this is where we get stupid with artificial intelligence, okay? Today, as far as the project is concerned, the Rap GPT EP that we're looking to release before the end of the year, I decided that we needed to do something specifically for the ladies, right? Something romantic, something sensual, something that really get them tickled in places where, again, it's a Tupac Notorious B.I.G. theory,
Randy.
Yeah, you do songs for the dudes, you do songs for the ladies, and it's all good. If the ladies listen to it, then the dudes are going to listen to it as well. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, here's the metaphor. I want to eat you like a zombie, make it romantic. Let's do this. And it came up with very poetic lyrics.
It really did.
Yes, that we want to perform for you right about now. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Rat GPT presents to you Like a Zombie.
Yo, Beef, you see all those ladies over there?
I see every single one of those ladies, Rico.
You want to croon for them?
Oh, baby. Yes, I do.
Get them all excitable?
You know what they don't know is I have an appetite for more than just one.
Really?
I could eat every single one, son.
Like for real?
For real. Like a zombie.
Okay, I'm curious.
Yes. I'll explain exactly how I do it.
Please do before the cops arrive.
Purchase your tracks today.
In the moonlit room, bodies intertwined, sweat dripping down. It's a perfect grind. I'm a zombie of passion, ready to feast on your curves and contours. I'm a wild beast.
Our bodies colliding, a tempestuous storm, lost in the heat. A desire that's formed, I'll leave love bites like a craving undead, marking you as mine in this wild bed.
I'ma eat you up like a ravenous zombie. Lose ourselves in pleasure. Yes, you're going crazy. You're forbidden fruit, so tempting and sweet. I'll devour your love, make our hearts skip a beat.
No inhibitions, we're both under a spell, exploring each other. Secrets we won't tell, like a zombie. I hunger for your touch, savoring the moment. Oh, it means so much.
In this realm of ecstasy, girl, our bodies collide. A delicious frenzy, baby. There's no place to hide. I'm like a zombie, hungry for your skin, tasting the pleasure that is brewing within.
We'll dance in the shadows, passions on display, indulging in desire. In this moment we'll stay like a zombie. I'll consume you whole, leaving no doubt, surrendering to the soul.
I'ma eat you up like a ravenous zombie. Lose ourselves in pleasure, baby. Yes, we're going crazy. You're forbidden fruit, so tempting and sweet. I'll devour your love, making our hearts skip a beat.
As the night deepens, our desires entwine, biting, scratching.
Yeah.
A symphony so
Purchase your
divine, I'll
tracks today.
devour your senses.
Nom nom.
Unleash the wild in this twisted dance. We're both beguiled.
Lost in a trance, our hunger intensifies, exploring new depths where the pleasures lie. Like a zombie, I'll consume you whole, our love story written in moans and soul.
We'll dance in the shadows, passion on display, indulging in desire. In this moment we'll stay like a zombie. I'll consume you with delight in this wicked union where day turns to night.
There you go. Rap GPT presents Like a Zombie. Rockwood 2.1 KFMA.
My pants are tight.
Yeah, absolutely. So, ladies, what did you think? Sound off 600 KFMA, 600-5362. Love to hear your opinion if it should make the EP or not. Your F My Life coming up next. It'll be Finger Presents. Don't go away. And No woman called.
I told you they were too horny to call.
Yeah, I know that's a very optimistic way to put it, Rico.
Mhm.
And I believe you. I want to believe you. I don't know if I believe you though. I mean, we were trying to create a panty dropper, a universal panty dropper, to where just if people were just like kind of skimming through the dials and came across our song for the very first time, they'd stop for a second, their panties would drop off, and they'd be like, "What the hell just happened?" We were going for that. I don't know if we executed it as intended, and I don't know if we'll make the EP, but let us know what you guys think.
I had that Usher vibe. I could see where you guys were going.
Yeah,
You gotta
totally.
do the music video with the rain falling and the unbuttoned shirts.
Yeah.
Slow motion.
So did it sound like we had every single type of herpes?
Mhm.
Is that what you're saying with the Usher vibe? Because Usher literally has every type of herpes. Did you know
Really?
that?
Fun facts.
Oh, yeah, he got sued. He got sued by chicks
Wow.
being like, "Hey, you raw dog me, and you have like all the herpes." You know when he had released that song "Burn"? Like,
That was literally
yeah, dude.
Wow.
Yeah,
Let it burn.
allegedly. I have to say that so I don't get sued, but
Nick Cannon's over there just like
all right, I'm just getting ready. Sum 41.
Oh, that's a good would you rather. Speaking of Nick Cannon and Usher. Would you rather sleep with somebody if it was guaranteed herpes or a child?
oh my god.
Because both of them stick with you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. But and for most dads out there, they only pop up about once every couple months.
Hey,
Hey there,
But
Shannon.
I would go for a child, because the child is the gift that keeps on giving. You pay for it. And
so are
stuff like that.
herpes.
No, I don't know if it says beneficial. I do.
I think the medication to keep treating herpes is cheaper than a child.
Ooh, yeah. I guess that's
Yeah.
tough. Yeah.
Sliding scale.
Which is what called Valtrex. So you should always.
Oh, wait,
that's-
how
that's what I
do you
named my
know the
kid.
name of it?
well, because I always check.
That's what I named my kid Valtrex.
No, I always on Valtrex. I think you should always check a woman's medicine cabinet before you decide to raw dog her. You know what I mean? You like go in there and just check me.
The
That's
beef
your-
tip.
yeah,
That's
beef-
the beef tip today.
That's
definitely
if
going
it's
to be
only
the beef tip.
antipsychotic meds,
Right?
go for it. But if
It'll
there's
be fun.
Valtrex,
Yeah.
Oh, if it's antipsychotic meds, Beef's like, I'm in the right place. Let's
Right?
go.
Yeah,
That
then,
is
then
his
strap
type.
on, man, because it's going to be a rodeo. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, it's your only books she has are how to communicate with your non-existent father. Perfect. I'm in.
Mm. Yes. All right. 13 seconds. Goddamn, I want to do this beef or I want to do a single song takeover, but I'm stumped on what I should play in this playlist. Let's find out on the air. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA, Days of the New. I'll tell you what. Let me just go straight to the phones right now. 600 KFMA, 605-362 for a request. First person to give me a request that I actually have in my playlist, you will do the single song takeover. Now, radio requests are a thing of the past. In fact, there's
Mhm.
people out there that might pretend to play requests. They don't really play requests, but I'm
Bringing
giving
it
you an
back.
opportunity. Go old school to legit get a request played if I have it in the playlist. And that's the stipulation. Okay. So, I will give you two stipulations. One, let's make sure it doesn't suck. All right.
Yeah.
And then two, hopefully it's in the playlist. Now, of course, there's some things that used to be played on the station that currently are not in the playlist, and that's a bummer. All right. But, there's still a lot of great music that is in the playlist. So 600 KFMA, 605-362. If you can give me a request, and then I'll play it for a single song takeover, like right now. Is there anything off the top of your head that you were thinking?
Well, I mean, you were perusing. I love Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah.
Like I think all their songs just have a really good beat and get me up and going. It's part of my running playlist.
I'm sure it is. All right. Rock 1 2.1. Who's this?
Beef, Eric.
All right. Eric, Trash Guy. You got a request for me. Let's see if it's in the system. What do you got?
Probably not, but I was thinking about it with the new Metapocalypse. How about Mermaid Murder by Death Clock?
Oh,
Yeah, I definitely don't have that. That was an excellent try.
I figured as much.
I totally second that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, he's got good taste, but yes, unfortunately, that never made it to radio, Eric. But thanks for your try. Here, let's go to the next phone line. Rock 1 2.1. Who's this?
Hey, this is Jesse.
All right, Jesse, give me that request. Hopefully, we got it in the playlist.
You probably do. Courtesy Call by 10,000 Foot Crutch.
10,000 Foot Crutch. Let's see. Nope. Did you used to hear this on the station?
No courtesy call?
Yeah, no courtesy call.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. You know what?
Weird.
I know. Well, you know what they had to do? They had to clear out a lot of space for, I guess, classic rock files take up more room.
Gotta clear out 10,000 files.
We had to make room for Rush's Tom Sawyer to be even in this category. Like, what are you doing?
Why
man?
is that song 8 gigs?
Yeah.
Why?
How do you take out courtesy court for effing Tom Sawyer, dude? All right. Anyways. Well, thanks for trying. All right, let's go to the next phone call. Rock 1 2.1. Who's this?
This is Floyd the Butcher.
All right, Floyd the Butcher. Give me a request that I might have in my playlist here.
Do you have any suicidal tendencies?
Ooh, yeah. I think we're on to
That's
something
some
here.
good stuff.
Yeah, it is. Suicidal tendencies. I have a few.
Ooh.
Yeah, and let's go through the list, and I'm gonna let you take your pick here, Floyd. All right, we have How Will I Laugh Tomorrow? Nobody Hears. Monopoly on Sorrow. I Saw Your Mommy and I Banged Her. Institutionalized and Institutionalized twice.
Let's do Nobody. No, let's do I Saw Your Mommy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And a banger. Going out to all the mills out there from Floyd the Butcher. Here is Suicidal Tendencies on Rock 1 2.1 KFMA, your single song takeover.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Excellent suggestion. All right.
That's how it's done.
Yeah, that's how we do that. All right. Now, still people are calling, but unfortunately, you already did it. And it was
Now they're
very
going to
fun.
have that band.
They are. All right. Also, I have other clips I want to share with you before we get back on. We're going to rock out to this, but here is the shower toilet argument that we had this morning, in case you missed it. I should get that checked out. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents.
I'm not a doctor, but
But
beef, you should call one.
Yeah, horns out Uranus doesn't sound like it's a good thing. Speaking of which, you guys still follow the Curious Cat on Instagram, right? Our good friend Cat Rumbly.
Yes.
all of our Florida posts now.
Well, she made it to Florida, which is good news. She made it that whole trek, and she's always documenting it on Instagram. And she stayed at a couple Airbnbs that had a lot of character. And there was one Airbnb in particular that kind of blew my mind. She opened up this stained glass shower door, and inside was a standing shower and also a toilet.
What?
Yes. And in fact, I'm trying to pull it up on the stories
She
now.
should have moved to Japan.
Is that a thing in Japan?
Better be.
Well, right.
Probably is.
I don't think it is. So, and I want to see. She's gonna have to probably send it to me. It was actually one of the most beautiful things that I've seen. And I messaged or I commented on that post, that I want to use that toilet now while I shower. Right? It's something I didn't even know I wanted to do. And the actual comment was, "Oh, I would sew number 2 and shower at the same time. #life goals." And she's like, "Oh my God, you would." And the thing is, I didn't think I would. Didn't know I had that desire until I seen it.
Really?
And then I saw that, and it was literally the toilet was sitting there. They had a drain right in front of the toilet. And then of course the shower overhead. So you could sit there and shower while going number 2.
Time out. Is the shower, are you facing the shower head or away
Yes,
from it?
you're facing the shower
Do
head.
you need goggles?
Well, I mean, there's different ways to prevent water from getting in
goggles.
your eyes. I don't know if you ever got along with somebody in the shower. You're always kind of avoiding.
Always wear swim goggles. It's the sexiest thing ever.
So sexy. but my question to you, since now this is a new life goal. Now I cannot leave this planet without experiencing a shower poo. Right.
Mhm.
And I don't mean just doing my business in the shower and pushing it down the drain. I mean, sitting on a toilet in the shower, showering while handling my business. That seems orgasmic to me.
I mean,
Inefficient.
the shower and shave it makes it so much more efficient.
How much time would you save
Exactly.
in the year?
Sometimes I cut it close to coming in here in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I would be so early all the time, with being able to shave and shower
Right.
at the same time. And, I would think there's a couple downsides. Obviously, you got to think physics and stuff. If there's water constantly cascading off your body into the bowl, you got to flush, numerous times
Yeah.
so it doesn't overflow. Right.
Okay.
So That's the only downside I can think of, actually.
We got to treat your body like a gasket, man.
Well, how
Gotta
so?
cover that water. Just keep your thighs tight.
I don't have the
Come
thunder
on,
thighs,
bro.
man. No, I like
Just
to
thinking here.
I like to give a little air. Plus, I like to peek down and see what I'm working with.
The only time
See my
Rico
work.
has told somebody to keep their legs shut.
Right? Noted.
Well, anyways, I gotta reach out to Kat and know exactly where that Airbnb is, and I'm sure it was cheap. I'm sure it was kind of like a hole in the wall on a like side road on the way to Florida. But
Right.
at the same time, that is my new vacation destination. Just to go there. I don't
I
care if it's
know.
Mobile, Alabama. I think it might be somewhere in Alabama. And I never really wanted to go visit Alabama until now.
You should have it on a billboard. I mean, that's that cool.
Yeah. You're like, I'm
got
just
the
here.
shower toilet.
Yeah, like you go to a town and there's only like $3 Dollar Generals in an entire town, and maybe like a Long John Silver's,
Right?
and then this Airbnb. Then I'm spending a week there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
questions asked.
putting it on my credit card. I will. I'll go into. All right, that was that rant from this morning.
Very fruitful conversation.
Yeah, Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. I saw your mommy for Suicidal Tendencies. Excellent request there for the single song takeover. And speaking of saw your mommy, I was going to do etiquette from around the world, but might as well talk about this bizarre story that is coming out of, I think, Texas area. Now, if you don't know, there was a man named, I think it was Rudy Ferraris, right? He's 25 years old now, but he was reported missing at the age of 17. And so he was missing for like 8 years. And then he was found last week, in like behind a church. He was all beat up, he's disheveled. And they're like, what's going on, man? What's your problem? And they look at like, wait a second, you're the missing kid who's now an adult, right? So that was strange as is. Now, almost immediately, neighbors were going, news reporters were going to neighbors being like, hey, did you know that this missing kid's been around? And they had like very sassy, like a black woman neighbors like, that kid wasn't missing at all. He's been going to my garage, hanging out with my cousin, all this stuff, right? So the plot was thickening. Like, what's going on if this dude was reported missing and then became an adult and no one ever clarified if he was missing or not until this day or until recently? Everyone surrounding the area assumed that this dude was missing. Well, it turns out he was kind of being held hostage by his mom.
Oh.
Yeah. And the story gets crazier from there. Of course, there are now allegations that the mom actually locked him inside their home, sexually abused him, made him take hallucinogenic mushrooms, and treated him like a slave. You take the sex out of the equation. That sounds like an average mom to me, right? But this is
just a helicopter mom. It's fine.
Yeah, just a helicopter mom that likes to party.
Do the mushroom.
Yeah. Like, Mom, not again, man. I want to really get a job this time. No job for you. It's time to put on Netflix.
My precious baby.
Yeah. Super odd and super weird happening. And I got some pictures I'll show you here on the podcast broadcast stream of the story. And now you're close to your mom, right, Valdez?
But not that close. We don't do mushrooms together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now there's a community activist involved, Quanell X, and this, the characters unraveling in this story is straight to Netflix type deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't make this stuff up. Here was the kid, Rudy, when he was 17 years old and went missing. And now 25 years old. This is him in a blanket where he's riding with Quanell X, the community leader who's trying to show him the way. Mom issues for sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to begin on that. And he was found with blood in his hair, showing obvious signs that he'd been badly abused, beaten. Now he's a 25-year-old grown man. Now his mom was like an obese woman in her late 50s, early 60s. You could have taken her out to a certain, not like murder her, but
how much
push her down.
Yeah, but how much psychological torture was happening before he went missing at 17?
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely has like a Norman Bates vibe to it, with
in
that.
all these houses, you see the photos of the house, they all look the same when there's like a psychopath thing going on.
Yeah, those are just neighborhoods
Uncut
in
grass.
Texas. I mean,
that.
Yeah. Well, uncut grass because she couldn't let him outside to do the chores. All the chores. The mowing the lawn happened inside the house.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Was that an out?
That was an out. You know what? On that mom muff eating joke, commercials.
Here's a cooling and plumbing tip for Tucson.
Yeah, sorry. I had to do that. I mean, it was.
They
right
all look like
there.
the house from Silence of the Lambs. You know, you always assume you walk by a house like there's definitely a well in there. Somebody being held captive.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Yeah. So this is this week's distraction in the news. A lot of stuff, you know, but this is a crazy story. Still developing. I'll keep you updated on that. I'm sure there's going to be more to it, but yeah, tragic and weird, strange. And he's okay now, physically. But emotionally, this dude is fucked for life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just love how Netflix and the metaverse right now this week are just like, behind that tree looking for opportunities.
Yeah.
It's like, everybody keep fucking up.
Yeah. Speaking of which, are you guys on Threads? Threads is the latest thing.
Yep.
You just signed up and you're excited about it.
I am.
Yeah. Now, what is it, yesterday and the day before? For about 48 hours, Instagram put an Easter egg out there. So if you put Threads in a search bar, it would show a pink ticket. You click on that pink ticket and we'll bring you straight to if you have an Apple phone. And it's only available for Apple users right now. It's going to be Android available pretty soon. But if you click on that pink ticket, it will take you to download the app Threads, which essentially is a Twitter rival, right? It's Mark Zuckerberg's version of Twitter. They're calling it the Twitter killer. They're attempting to make it a Twitter killer. Right now, it has none of the benefits of Twitter. I haven't seen one nipple yet, to be honest with you.
You haven't seen my page yet?
Did you post nipples? I mean, if you post nipples,
maybe you should subscribe.
No, here's the thing. What makes Twitter cool, right? What made Twitter cool, I should say. Because right now there's a lot of blowback because all the stuff that Elon's doing is not cool. Even limiting, it's very greedy. And the one thing that people don't want to do is pay for social media. We're used to we're essentially the product, right?
Right.
So, you're collecting data, you're selling advertisers. So we'll scroll past annoying ads if you don't charge us for shit. But Elon's like, this got to make money somehow. So we're going to charge a bunch of people and people are leaving in droves. So this is a prime opportunity for a competitor to come in.
It was very Sun Tzu.
Now the competitor is Mark Zuckerberg, who has failed several different times trying to do spin-off versions, competitive. The only way he's succeeded in other businesses is buying those businesses up and then absorbing them. Instagram being the example. So, what makes Instagram or Twitter cool? If I asked you that question, Rico, what would you say are some of the things that made Twitter cool for you?
Honestly, I was never really a big Twitter guy.
Okay.
But I mean, knowing what the platform was before and after, I mean, there's always been scrutiny about it, but it was just a platform for like that instantaneous freedom of thought, stream of consciousness coming out from an individual. That's what made it cool. It was like unfiltered, pure thoughts from people you admired or followed or interested in.
Yeah.
And to see what happened over time with the restrictions on freedom of speech from X party, Y party, the whole debate over that was very interesting. But then watching it evolve into what it is now and all the backlash coming from the way he's handling it and now looking at the power surge from Instagram side, it's just insane.
Yeah. Well, the things and I agree with you there. And I never really read it for just the tweets themselves. But, the search or the trending section, the trending news and hashtags like that was always beneficial for me just to keep up what's going on. Real-time breaking news, that's happening before the websites get a hold of the information and share that information. And it was an uncensored platform. And it still is to a certain extent, when it comes to just, verbiage and visuals, right? It was an adult app, right? So Meta absorbing this or starting this Threads, I'm afraid that it's going to be like, with the Instagram rules. You can't post
like
anything.
neutered.
Yeah. A neutered version of Twitter. And a neutered version of Twitter won't work. It won't. And if it's very similar, and it's been very similar to Instagram so far. When you're looking through it, does it not feel like Instagram?
I think that's kind of the point they're going for, though.
Well, I know, but that's absurd though, because it's like, okay, well, that's just Instagram.
It's Instagram with an easier comment-based follow-up rather than reading through comments. It's like reposting. It's like very like it takes everything from Twitter, like what it seems like so far, that makes Twitter work with the reposting and the quoting and things like that. All the things that aren't in Instagram inherently now are now in there. So, I mean, I think it's just a great cross-platform. It's pretty genius if you think about literally just following everybody that's already on your Instagram and vice versa. That's brilliant because it's like I don't want to go through the process of having to go through
and starting all over again.
Yeah, that's gonna get people on board immediately.
You're absolutely right on that. And to sign up for the threads was super easy because I had Instagram. So just like, hey, boom, connect this, bam. Let's see.
How long ago did Twitter start?
What was that? 2009?
2009 or 10? No, I think 2010.
Okay, so 13 years. So
Yes.
Threads launched 2 days ago. I will see you on there in 13 years.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I was like waiting for you to be like, what did you like about Twitter? I was like, I don't know. I just finally signed up for one like a few weeks
I'm on
ago.
Friendster, bro.
Well, you should have done it immediately and tried to grab up Weirdo as the name. So I mean, the reason why I signed up on Threads is to make sure that I have at Beef Vegan because that is the value to me. You know, I mean, whether or not there's copycats out there, they won't have the original. They'll have to do Beef Vegan _ whatever the fuck, and that's just
Hey, can we do a quick timeout? Look, we got a comment from Sweden.
Yeah. Shout out from Sweden.
Should ask them for the song of the day.
I know, actually, and it would probably be something metal.
Yes.
Or I mean, what would be your song of the day? A Verbary? Like if
Verbally?
Verbally?
I don't know what to speak Italian.
We're playing music on the radio, of course. We're a live podcast with music. And today we had Suicidal Tendencies as our single song takeover. So what would you suggest? All right. Earlier this morning, we did another confession session. It was a good one that I got to share with you because it was fantastic. And I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't. And I'm hitting all the wrong tabs right now.
Pornhub.
Yeah. So in case,
that sound effect.
in case you missed the confession session, it went a little something like this. Check it out. Rock 1 KFMA, Smashing Pumpkins. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. It's Thursday. We normally do these on Wednesday, but I want to do a confession session here on this super show, and that's where Weirdo reads off these anonymous emails sent to her at weirdo@kfma.com. So without further ado, Weirdo, what's your first confession?
All right. My husband will only wear these ludicrously expensive boxers, which cannot be washed in the washer or put in the dryer.
Oh.
Otherwise, the waistband gets ruined. The frequency with which he has to replace mysteriously de-elasticated boxers correlates directly to how frequently he pisses me off.
Oh, okay. So she's been throwing out those boxers.
No, she just washes them in the washer and ruins them.
Oh,
harsh.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to wash your boxers, right? So is he dry cleaning only? And what a terrible job for the dry cleaner. I understand you probably have to come across some pretty gnarly stuff as a dry cleaner, as to why, people are bringing it in the first place. But if this guy comes in, look, skid marks happen to the best of us on a regular basis.
Not if we use that shower toilet. But.
Exactly. But so with that seems just disgusting.
Yeah.
So good for you. And it sounds like he makes enough money where he can just keep affording to buy stupid boxers. What's the dumbest clothing item that you'll waste money on, Rico?
Oh, God. The dumbest?
Yeah.
It's all kind of essential, but I mean, I don't know, maybe like cool looking gym shorts or something.
Okay, you need the cool looking. Is there a certain brand in mind that you would waste money on to try to be the cool guy in the gym?
Oh, like Under Armour or something like that, like the expensive ones.
Okay. You said, ooh.
Under Armour's not that expensive.
No, they sell that at Walmart.
I'm trying to think. I'm not going to go Gucci gym shorts, bro. Spending a G
we
on
say
those.
Nike.
Yeah, well, he's very practical. So yeah, that was the wrong question to ask him. And we're kind of dudes who are just like, we need something that serves its function.
Sweatpants.
Yeah, not waste money for that.
I mean, my answer's similar. Like, I also go to the gym a lot, but I own 15 sports bras.
No.
Too many. Way too many.
Right. Especially with the size of your boobs. You don't even need them.
Thanks.
What else you got?
All right. My current partner has the same name as 2 of my exes.
Ooh.
Sometimes when I'm mad at him, when I say his name during sex, I think of one of the other 2.
Ooh. Well, she's still having sex even though she's mad at him. So that's still a win for the guy. Angry sex sometimes is the best sex. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's why people say breakup sex is the best, but really it's that same kind of emotion. You're just you're mad and you're taking it out on each other in the most positive physical way.
Yeah.
And in fact, I had a girl who loved, I gave it to her so good one time when we were fighting that she would pick fights with me after that all the time. And like, you gotta stop with this nonsense. I understand, but I can't hate F you
Right.
every day. I don't have that much room in my heart for the hate.
God.
What else you got?
All right. I am a twin, and every year when it's our birthday, my mom puts a happy B-Day post on her Facebook for me and my sister.
Nice.
Always check to see which post gets more likes, and I am currently on a 4-year winning streak, obviously demonstrating that I am the more popular child. I am a fully grown adult.
Yeah, that is kind of sad.
Yeah.
You know, I gave up on the Facebook happy birthday post. You know how like you would get them every year. It gets less and less because less people on Facebook are giving F. And I used to go through and like and react and thank everybody personally. And then I would make a blanket like a post saying, hey, thank wishes.
Right.
I gave up on all that.
Yeah,
So,
I did do it this year. My birthday was a few weeks ago, and I was like. But every day when I get the notification, I'm like, here's all the people that have birthdays. I'm like, oh, look at all the people I don't talk to. Unfriend.
Right.
Happy birthday.
The worst, I think, is when they say happy birthday without the exclamation point. Just a period.
It's just a
Like, happy
statement.
birthday.
Yeah. I hell, you should just go to somebody on your Facebook page right now whose birthday it is and just post birthday. That's it. That's it. Just very factual.
Congrats.
Yeah. All right, let's get back on here. We're about 55 seconds before we go into our live performance, if you will.
Ooh.
Weirdo, every time we just were playing back that clip, and she had the same reaction that she had the first time around when I said I gave it to her good. She was like, So is that like out of disbelief or disgust? Which one was it? Or a mixture of both?
Same shit, different Thursday. Just I'm always hearing about your escapades.
Well, look, I hear about your escapades all the time.
You
Okay, you know, and there was actually a piece about a devil's threesome I was going to get into, but I didn't want to be too sexual on the show.
F that. Let's hear about it.
Well,
Let me put my phone
Sounds like
down.
a country song.
the devil's threesome. Yeah, I don't even think I put it in the show sheet, to be honest with you, because I was just like, I can't get into the devil threesome stuff. But you know what
Not
that is.
today.
Yeah. And I didn't want to like.
He's looking for threesomes.
I didn't want to put your like escapades on blast, but I know that you're very well versed in all things experimental and fun, which you know I'm proud of you for. We're back on the air, by the way,
Thank
so
you.
let's not talk about
Okay.
any of that. Rock 102.1 KFA. I want to talk about some fascinating traditions around the world. You know, because they're very strange things. We do things like customary tipping that no other places around the world do. Right? We're the only ones that think it's customary to have to tip for any kind of services over and over again.
Mhm.
But there are certain traditions here, and there was a recent map of etiquette released around the world. Like one, you know that it's tradition in Greece to spit on the bride as she's walking out.
Wait, what?
Yes, dude. Like that is like good luck, and that's like
Yeah, I did
Oh,
not
it's
know
not
that.
every single Greek chick you see on the street?
no,
Oh,
it
they've
has
been
to
doing
be
it
a
wrong.
bride as they're
Oh.
walking away. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you meet a girl from Greece and you spit on her, maybe that's a good way. Like,
If
oh,
she
I
likes
didn't know
it,
that
that's a
you
good
were.
sign.
Yeah, you're so commitment forward.
Not a red flag at all.
Right?
You're right. So here's the map that I'm going to show here on the podcast broadcast. Here are some other fascinating tidbits. Like in France, never request martini or scotch before dinner. That's bad etiquette. You just
Okay.
don't do it. All right. In Canada, you always arrive fashionably late. Yeah, maybe that's because of the
Eh?
snowstorm and that started. But yeah, nobody shows up on time.
Because they're too polite to call you out on it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's good. In Colombia, only wear trainers for exercise.
Running from the feds.
Yeah. I guess you wear nicer shoes there. You know, I actually had a friend who was in, what was it? Madagascar. No, where's the cocaine capital of the world? Where Pablo
Miami?
Escobar's from?
Colombia, right?
Yeah, Colombia. But what was the city of
Medellin?
that? Yeah, Medellin.
That's
So this dude, and I'm not going to say his name on the air because I'm very suspect of his entire life. I've known him since high school, and he's always traveling all over the place, but never seems to have a job, right? And I knew back in the day he used to sell weed, and I think he was able to fund his business, quote,
pilot's
unquote.
license.
Well, yeah, like
Mhm.
his business was like before weed was legalized everywhere. I think he was bringing weed to Arizona from California. He was living out in LA. But this guy is literally all over the place. He told me this hilarious story one time of hooking up with a girl in Thailand who had a red rose on her and ended up being a dude, right? And yeah, like I'll tell that story another time. But he was just in Medellin, right? And he's just hanging out. And he goes by himself, right? And he's hanging out and he meets friends there. And I'm just like, okay, dude, I wouldn't post this on Instagram because, like, if you're not a drug runner, what the F are you? You know what I mean? It's so like I'm half jealous and I'm half concerned, because I'm like, how are you keeping up this lifestyle? And are you gonna get whacked? And like,
and am I going to be in a Netflix documentary in 2 years talking about this?
Right. And then do you have like Colombian girlfriends now? Because the guy's like, he's pimping in a way. It's insane. And I wish I could go down the rabbit hole with you on the stream of some of his posts. But again, I don't want to out him if he is doing anything nefarious.
Yeah, come
right?
on.
Yeah, because I'm no snitch. But, if you're an FBI agent, I guess you could look through my friend list and probably bust a couple people.
See me on Threads. Join me on Threads.
What?
Joke's on you. He works for Hilton.
I
He
wish
checks the quality of all the hotels around the
It's
world.
like, dude, my life is boring.
Well,
What do you want?
actually, they say Medellin does have a lot of tourism now after the narco season. And I'll tell you what, and this is from our Swedish viewer on Twitch. You're not wrong. The images he was posting of that looked beautiful. And I was jealous. I was extremely jealous. And I'm like, damn it, why didn't I start smuggling cocaine? You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
I got into this whole radio thing, but radio's not even giving me a trip to Vegas. And this guy's getting all expensive paid trip to Medellin. It's insane. We're keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. Your beef tip coming up next.
Why can't I play poker in Montenegro? Why not?
I know.
Why am I here?
Oh, nice.
Those are
He's been there
diamonds.
too. And honestly, after seeing all the posts, made me want to go there too. Yeah, it is
Gorgeous
beautiful. The cuisine looked fantastic. And the city didn't look run down because obviously they got a lot of cocaine money, right? So think modern day Miami in the jungle. That's what Medellin is. So that kind of beautiful.
Let's go.
I just want a pet tiger.
Yeah, and Mexico is probably far more dangerous for sure. So
Let's grab a Comrex and go do a whole week over there.
Yeah.
again, I mean, I wish it would let me do that in Rocky Point, but they won't. And I mean, I pitch probably like once a month. Be like, it would be a good idea for radio.
Hear me out.
Yeah. Let me take the crew to Rocky Point. You rent a floor of some nice little condo there on the beach.
All this is going to pay off all of them with grilled cheese.
Yeah, they have great Wi-Fi down there. You get a good little place, and then we do a little podcast, and
Come on,
have a good time, right? So they're still saying no to that. Well, wear them down
because it doesn't test well.
Right.
All right, a couple other weird etiquettes here. In Germany, holding your hands in two fists with thumbs tucked and making a pounding motion expresses good luck.
Oh, cool. I'll get along very well there.
Yeah, you do that all the time, just like a caveman.
Octon.
In Ukraine, if you invite, you pay. Okay, that's fair. I think that's actually etiquette here too.
Yeah.
You ask someone out to dinner, then you're usually the one paying.
Yeah, with brown people, that's all we are. If we invite, we're paying.
Yeah,
So that's why I don't ever say jack squat.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's why I don't invite you out too, because especially to eat. I don't have that kind of budget. All right, so sorry. I love you, Valdez. All right, so in what was it? What is that? Dying around the communal
Mali?
bowl. Is that Mali?
Mali.
Mali. Yeah.
M-A-L-I.
Oh, did you know that there is a line in Africa right now, a divide where Africa is breaking apart? So basically the east coast of Africa is going to turn into like an island, and it's separating an inch every single year.
Wait, it's physically breaking apart.
It's physically breaking apart.
I know. I was like, is this politically or physically?
No.
Okay, got it.
In real life.
It's physically.
Wow.
You've seen this too, Rico?
Did Jeff Bezos buy it already?
No, but honestly, it would be smart to buy along that crack line on the inland,
Right.
because that is future and seems like somewhat new, or like
He's like, no, this is not yours anymore.
Yeah,
Nature said no.
it's future beachfront property, and I know I have it here somewhere. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up. I'm going to show you this. You looked it up right now?
No, the Swedish guy is way ahead of all of us.
Yeah, there you go. So, because they have better education out there, let's be honest.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So there's a rift that's happening in Africa that goes, that splits along the entire East Coast, taking a big chunk of it with it. So it would make a massive island when it goes and splitting an hour or an inch a year. And I said all that stuff already, so I'm just killing time.
I just looked it up. It's okay. We've still got 5 to 10 million years before there's a ocean in between it.
Well, shit, then. That's
Yeah.
a terrible investment. No, well, I mean, nobody listens to the show for financial advice from me, that's for sure. But yeah.
But yeah, no, it started off as a 35-mile crack in
Yeah.
2005, and it's expanding every day.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's the world constantly evolving and moving, and and that's essentially that's how like the Americas happened. If you look at South America and Africa, you piece them together. There's theory that that was all one landmass and that's
Pangea.
separated.
Pangea, yeah.
Yeah. So there
That'd
we
have
go.
been rad.
Yeah, unfortunately, can't speed that up for people in there. So back to the etiquette, I guess. This is something that's still modern day and not 5 years from now. Let's see. In Algeria, you don't give violets as a gift because they signify sadness.
Violence.
Violets, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not know that. Oh, all these fun facts.
I know
Oh,
It's
you can
very
give
emo.
violence as a gift.
Violets.
Well,
violence.
if
Oh.
yeah, violets. No, you don't
I can
give.
gift you some violence right now,
That's what I was
my
thinking, like,
friend.
Here's some tickets to UFC. Like, nope, it's gonna bring sadness.
So sad.
Well, yeah, that's in Algeria. So we're still going
Bye,
over the
Patrick.
etiquette map of the world, which has been pretty eye-opening here. Like in Brazil, women kiss twice if married, 3 times if single. I wonder where that third kiss is, huh? Yeah.
Double threesome.
That's a good time. All right. Let's see. Other etiquette things that we're looking at over the world here. In Australia, saying I'm stuffed after a meal means you're pregnant. Okay.
Oh, all right then.
All right.
Valdez, what are you, 42 months?
Hey, I'm the only one who can do Valdez fat jokes around here.
Yeah,
How
but then
dare
I
you.
compliment his boobs so much. His dirty pillows.
Drop a 9 Valdez.
I'm Valdez.
There it is. Feels so
I think
good.
that's the played out. You guys were talking about what phrases are played out.
Yeah.
That has to be one of them.
No way.
not
No.
even.
I mean, in fact, it's the
5 more
fact
years.
that they took it away from us.
Right.
Makes it even more desirable.
Still
you know?
rebellious to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
get
feels
that weird
good.
tingle in your stomach.
saying I'm Valdez on the radio is essentially screaming out I'm punk rock, and there's nothing you can do about it. And again, I'm still fighting for you on a daily basis.
Si se puede.
Yeah,
right.
to bring back I'm Valdez. In fact, actually, we had Tip fill in for you yesterday. I tried to get him to say it.
He was scared.
He was, and he said it, but he pauses so
Looking around.
long that he said I'm, and then a half hour later, he dropped in Valdez. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man, speed it up. All right, Iceland, they say burping in public is socially acceptable, which is awesome.
There's nobody else there.
Sweden, here's a weird etiquette rule in Sweden. People arrive on time.
Why?
Well, apparently they just ran out of things to talk about Sweden, but yeah. And then the final tidbit here from etiquette from around the world is in China, you never flip a fish on your plate. It signifies bad luck. So,
That's
yeah.
the worst Confucius thing I've ever heard.
There you have it. And so we try to be informative, not necessarily educational. Definitely want to be entertaining. And we like to thank everyone for listening to the show. Had a good time. You can watch the entire replay with all the fun bits that we did this morning on the Super Show at youtube.com/beefvegan. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe. Before we leave you, it's time for a beef tip. And we were talking about this earlier. Might as well give you this little tidbit of information. I've used it from time to time. But you're dating someone, things are going good. You're getting hot and heavy. You're at their house. Things are about to go all the way. Maybe you forgot your condoms at home. Maybe you are adventurous and you like to live freely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you go into all that, make sure you look into the medicine cabinet and make sure there isn't any Valtrex there. I'm just saying, because then for sure that you could probably do it without any other added protection. And that's terrible advice too. Am I
great
going to get
advice.
sued? I shouldn't say anything more. Thank you guys for listening. Rob Nash up next. Try to stay fried safe. And as always, rock local. Later.
Safe Velcro.
Yeah, why am I trying to get myself fired?
On the side of beef, soon will come and end to all your grief.
Valtrex.
But if you've been mean or kind of bad,
I love you guys.
I
Thanks for
will
watching.
knock
As
out
always.
all your
Why is that phone going
teeth.
off right now?